You know what it's like to be the person he confides everything to, his sorrows, his doubts, his breakups. Everything, except what you feel. I was his best friend for 7 years, but in my head, I called him something else. I called him my love. Today, I'm going to tell you about it. We met in college. He was one of those guys who talks to everyone but doesn't really listen to anyone, except me. Very quickly, we became inseparable. Movies, classes, midnight coffees, calls when he wasn't feeling well. He always said, "You're like my sister." And I smiled. But inside, each sister hammered a nail into my heart. He told me about his crushes, his one-night stands, his broken hearts. And I listened to him because I loved him. And by listening, I stayed close. One day, he said to me, "You know, you're the only girl I can be myself with." I wanted to answer him, "Then love me." But I just said, "I know." There were moments. Ambiguous. Blurry. A hand that lingered too long. A look that said more than words. He defended me in front of others. He called me when he was drunk. He once said to me, "If we're 30 and still single, we'll get married, okay?" And I laughed. But I believed him. So much. I told myself, he doesn't know but he feels. He feels I'm there. For him. Always. Then he met her. She was beautiful, lively, brilliant. And above all, she wasn't me. He talked to me about her. More and more. And I listened. Still. Always. The day he told me he wanted to give her a ring, I went home and threw up. Not because of him. Because of me. Because of my silence. One evening, I wrote a letter. I told him everything. Each line was a cry. I put it in an envelope. I went to his house. But when he opened the door, there she was, in his arms. So I smiled. And I left. The letter, I burned it. Years later, we met again. Him, separated. Me, still alone. We talked for a long time. And then he looked at me and said, "You know, there was a moment when I wondered if you were in love with me." I stood there frozen. And he continued, "But I never wanted to check. Because I was too afraid of losing you." I smiled. Again. But this time, it was a final smile. Sometimes, silence is a proof of love. Sometimes it's just a gentle way to break without making a sound. And you? Have you ever loved your best friend? Tell me in the comments. Or write it to me in secret. Your heart deserves to be heard.